Basil Sagos leads New York State's Department of Environmental Conservation, but recently he found himself leading another mission, delivering ambulances donated to war-torn Ukraine. I spoke with him about why he felt the need to take personal leave for what was a dangerous undertaking.
I was only in Ukraine for a brief period, right? Just 2 weeks, but I saw the nation unified unlike anything, frankly, I'd ever seen.
New York State DEC Commissioner Basil Sagos says, like many people, he's been glued to coverage of Russia's February invasion into Ukraine. What he saw moved him to action.
I've always had trouble sitting on the sidelines on anything.
First, he fundraised to cover the cost of an ambulance through a nonprofit called Ukraine Friends. And then...
Well, I became an ambulance driver for a couple of weeks.
Driving ambulances from Slovakia across Ukraine to the front lines, he saw the beauty of the countryside give way to carnage.
Infrastructure directly targeted. Businesses, homes, apartment buildings, water plants, sewage, power, industry, and all of the spillover effects from that, right? I mean, I saw farm fields that had piles of anti-personnel mines on them. I think part of Putin's plan was to damage the countryside so severely to make these areas uninhabitable for a long time.
Entering a bunker that had been used by Russian soldiers, he couldn't believe the squalor.
You know, it looked like something out of the 1800s. I didn't see combat, but having been in the military and seeing how they were living, I think is a reflection of the way that they were waging this campaign, where they just didn't care about what people were experiencing on the receiving end of these shells, where people were being blown up in their houses. Just the inhumanity of it stuck with me.
But what also stuck with him was seeing the country come together, reminding him of how New Yorkers came together after Superstorm Sandy and the nation after 9/11.
I mean, their camaraderie and their spirit of country was extraordinary.
In a factory in Kyiv, he was moved as he watched teens repurpose barrels into stoves for soldiers on the front lines.
It was a really powerful moment to see just the love and the creativity of these kids and the families that were there supporting them. Gave me a sense that there's so much going on in this country of Ukraine right now to support its own existence. It's not just the military, it's really the entire country pulling together. And that to me is something I'll remember for my life. Now, the commissioner says, of course, his first priority is New Yorkers, but helping Ukraine versus ourselves is not an either-or in this interconnected world. While we will have a link to the group Ukraine Friends he worked with, he encourages everyone to find a charity they can support and continue helping Ukraine.